few hours, really, last couple of days with subscribers. So, um, thank you. Listen, today I'd like everybody to like, comment, subscribe. If you want. If you don't, that is what it is. Um, Before we start, a couple of bit of housekeeping here. Harry Gray signed a new deal, which is great. He's 17 years old, so you can only sign a maximum of a 3 year deal until he's 18 anyway, and then we can agree better terms, which is great for the Gray dynasty at Leeds, and then ultimately moving forward for us, another young player with a high ceiling, which is great. Willie Gnonto, seen his interest from Juventus. I don't know how solid that is, but it is what it is. Look, Willie Gnonto's always going to garner interest from the Italian clubs. So, yeah, we need to keep hold of him, something as that, because realistically, we need to keep hold of everybody and add to what we have in January. Joffe, flying for Hull. He got another goal last night in the Leicester City win. Well, they beat Leicester City. He's flying. He's doing brilliant. Fair play to the lad. Under 21s, I'll not touching them or anything like that. Today's presser. It's frustrating. There was, in my opinion, so many softball questions fired to Daniel Farke. And again, he answers them, and it's very much a politician's answer, but it's so long-winded. It takes him 20 minutes to answer a 1 minute question. He starts using all these different anecdotes and stuff, and I'm just sitting going, Daniel, just answer he asks you a simple question about Bijou. Answer the question. You don't go around the houses. He said, and I'll come to Bijou. He said about the game past, it was we dominated, but there was no cutting edge. Yeah, what did you do to change it? We waited till we were 2-0 down and fired on three strikers. I'm not going to go into that whole detail. He started, really frustrated me at the beginning of this press conference. He started this, he actually, the words that he used were the statistics that matter. XG, corners, thing. They don't matter. There's one statistic that matters. And the only statistic that matters is the one that's usually up in the top right or the top left hand corner of the screen. And that's usually the score. And you want to talk about big chances and big chances. We had two big chances. Bogle, who he name called and called out in the middle of the presser, and Brendan. And he gave Brendan an excuse about travelling and in a different time zone the day before. Brendan runs around like a blue arse fly. The problem with Brendan is that he has a real lack of quality. If he's going to come out and defend Brendan Aronson and even Bogle for that miss, you called Rodon out last week for absolutely nothing. We've got our priorities completely screwed up here. It really annoyed me. One of the main stats I want to remind you, Daniel, is this: 2 wins in 9. That's what we've won this season. 2 wins in 9. We've lost to Sheffield Wednesday under 21s. And people still say Bijou's not good enough and Bijou's not this. Some of the side that lost to the Sheffield Wednesday under 21s have played in the Premier League regularly this season. We currently have the third worst defence in the league, with the fifth worst attack in the league. That's where we are, Daniel. Statistically, that's where we are. What we have learnt from today is Okafor, James, Willie are all still not fit. They may well be fit enough for some minutes. They may well start. They may not start. Fingers crossed they do. But they're all late decisions. So hopefully they're good enough to start. But I do not want to risk these people to be out long term. We've got 11 games. I think it is 11 games or something like that from now to the end of December. we need to get to that point, and the 49ers have got to be on it to reinforce because our squad is so bloody small. Okafor and Willie haven't returned to team training today, as of today, but will return. James obviously had a couple of minutes there, a few minutes the other day, and hopefully he trains from now. But how fit is Don James? Like, if we've got those three players, we can play a 4-3-3. Against this West Ham side, we can definitely play the 4-3-3. My concern is if we don't have these players, we're going to play it anyway. Probably play Harrison and Aronson. He went into tactics. He said about he didn't even go into it. We'll be ready and we'll be prepared. What does that mean, Daniel? It means nothing. Likelihood is we're going to 4-3-3, even though we've got a fully fit squad to play 3-5-2. I want to read what he actually said. For the tactical point of view, we'll be well prepared. In personal terms, we have to make some late decisions. That's definitely for sure. Obviously, we have a few problems in the offence in terms of availability. No Okafor, Willie Naldo, etc. They have made progress in the rehab, but they've not been able to compete the whole team training this week so far, which means they're not fit right now. Will they be fit for some minutes? Possibly off the bench, but we'll have to wait and see. We will definitely take some late decisions. Obviously, Noah was not out as long as Willie. Perhaps for him it's a bit more realistic to be involved, but we'll see. Also, a few players have been struggling with illnesses at the minute, and those two players are Ampadu and Strike. Now, the problem that I have is this. It makes his decision easy for Bijol. Strike's been not good. He's been cut out of position left, right, centre in the last 2 or 3 games. And throughout the season, let's be honest, he's always a half a yard behind. Bijol, I watched him for his country and he was an absolute stalwart in defence. And when you're getting plaudits in Italy for your defending last season, then you're a good defender. The man hasn't had a minute in the league. He has to get starting. Ampadu having an illness, he'll start. Oh, well, he's not staying out as an illness. There's not a chance. Come Friday, he should be good, hopefully. But I am hoping that he uses this chance either to drop Pascal Strike or play him as a 3. We'll have to wait and see. But the amount of waffle that this man continues to do is driving not just me insane, but there are other people. I watched it on the YouTube, the Leeds page. The fan base is completely split over this. He has completely split our fan base down the middle when it comes to people want to believe him. People want to trust him. But we can't. I wish he was better than what he is. I wish I could trust him as a manager. I just his in-game management, his tactics, his lineup, everything in the Premier League, other than the fact that he changed to a 4-3-3 coming into the Premier League, there's been nothing else, zero, that gives me any hope that we can stay in the league with him. Zero. He said about West Ham here. He also said about the defence and the keeper that it's difficult and they're not just usual wee places that you can just take people out and put people in. Tell me, Daniel, if you don't want to take Pascal Strike out, when the fuck do you put Bijol in? Do you put him in against Man City, against Arsenal, against Liverpool, against Chelsea? Or do you put him in against West Ham, your second bottom, only the Wolves, who've got one of the worst defences in the league? Bijol is dominant in the air, he's quick and he's strong. This is the perfect time to put him in, especially if Strike's injured or sick. Going by keeper, I understand you maybe don't want to upset the apple cart too much. Dardo has played with Rodon for his country. He's played with Ampadu, James, etc. I'm not too concerned about that one. I want Bijol on the team. The only thing is this: I believe Perry's a far better keeper. Over time, it will tell over time than Darlow. People are concerned about his feet. I understand that. But don't play the tippy tappy football. Don't play that game. Play to our strengths. Our strengths are down the middle. Play two up front, one off DCL. There's no point in going out against West Ham with DCL up front in the zone. If we do that again, we're going to get another result as we did against Burnley. We're not going to create anything. We need people in and around DCL, which means we need to change something in the midfield. He came to Stack's defence today in this press conference as well, which I can understand. He's been decent throughout the season. He's been very good at times throughout the season. But he was abysmal against Burnley. He was found wanting. He should have called him. He called Rodon. I'm going to say this again. He called Rodon out for nothing last week. Nothing. And he can't call Stack out for that performance against Burnley. Why? Because he doesn't have the balls. Oh, he's a very important player. Yeah, of course he is. But stand up to him. Give him some direction. Where's your man management? I'm sure he's a big boy. He's a professional footballer. You can't critique him. The fans aren't stupid and we're not blind. The amount of gaslighting that man comes with as well, licking up to the Ellen Road power and the power of the crowd at Ellen Road. We know we're a good fan base. We know we're one of the best in the world. Never mind the Premier League, which is a very sterile environment. But the thing about it is, what gets me is you're trying to manufacture the crowd. The crowd will let you know whether you're doing well or you're not. And believe me, it's getting restless. You can talk to anybody on social media and they will give you an opinion, and some people will sit in the fence, some people is for him, some people are against him. That is reflective also in the fan base. It is what it is. It's annoying, but he has to understand that the fan base are split. And it's becoming a wee bit more and more touchy, because we know if we continue down this line, we're probably going to go down because of the lack of decision making on the sideline and the poor decision making on the sideline. I wrote about Bijol again. I'm not going to go back into that Bijol thing. I just wanted to write a bit of notes. He said about the lapses, and he was asked about lapses and concentration for the goals against Bournemouth, which was the strike deflections. Then he was asked about the lapse in concentration there against Burnley, and he said it's not lapse in concentration, it's a mentality. It's a mentality, but the mentality's good, right? That's concerning. It's not a lapse in concentration. It's not a lapse in concentration. It is a mentality. So what I'm taking from that is that he believes that the players are strong enough to stand up and forget about it and move on. My concern is Gudmundsson's had a really bad lapse in concentration, i.e. is a mentality against Fulham. Strike is at about 3 deflected shots that ended up into the net. That's poor goalkeeping, and I don't care what anybody says. Darlow should have saved one of them at least against Bournemouth. The shot against the second goal against Burnley, he has to do better. He has to do better. But then you have, like, let's be honest, the mentality. So he didn't call Stack out. He had the chance to. Stack's walking around doing nothing. But he's not breaking his neck to get out to block the shot. Strike is out of position, not getting out to block the shot. The man's in acres of space. There's 3 men. You're talking about mentality. That's concerning. If that's where we are, he's not able to address lapses and concentration. How do you guard against lapses and concentration? Train players. Train them. Not to switch off. It's a mentality thing. It comes from the top. It's the levels that you put into each player. And the problem is you are not dictating what you require from each player. You expect them to be up here. You're not enforcing principles. And if you're not enforcing those principles, there's going to be lapses in concentration. That's really concerning. He said about things working themselves out over the Premier League. That's the biggest load of cliche bollocks I ever heard. Things do not work themselves out. That's why VAR's here. VAR is not fair. If it was fair, the big six wouldn't ultimately always be the beneficiaries over the course of a season out of all decisions. Let's be honest. We have to make our own luck in the attack and third. And right now, Daniel, we have to go two up front. We need to get somebody along with DCL. He needs to be in cotton wool because we don't have any other options. If you play 4-3-3 and Brendan and Harrison's on, I'm telling you now, you'll have lost the crowd before we kick off. I'm telling you now, we will have lost the game. West Ham will overrun us. We need a change. We need an attacking threat. We need Tanaka in the middle, or you push Longstaff right up out of Stack's way and get Longstaff forward, or Stack up there. The reality is we need one of those three midfielders getting forward. And if there's Okafor and James, I'm happy enough if they're fit. We can play them, we can take them on. But you have to be ready to go 3-5-2 because these two men can break down. And the reality is Harrison and Aronson are nowhere near the level. Harrison's alright for fourth or fifth choice, but not he's not near the level, let's be honest. He named, as I say, Brendan Aronson being in a different time zone and coming back and competing and doing. Brendan Aronson can run all day. You know what, Brendan? I don't know you personally, but what I will say is this. You should join a cross-country club because you can run like I've never seen anybody running. You just can't play great football. Not at the level that we need you to be playing at. Brendan has got 0 goals and 0 assists. There's another stat, Daniel. 0 goals and 0 assists this season. 0. Concerning. And the amount of time that he's played this season, and he's contributed nothing. I'm going to wind up. I've been rattling on too long. My concern is this. Farke is so long-winded. It's like a 30-minute sort of conversation with journalists. A lot of the questions are softball questions. It's all, don't kick me out of the club. Oh, I want to be your friend. I'm going to be brutally honest with you here. I was talking to my father. I'm going to name 3 names. Hopefully some people watch the end of this video. Gareth Southgate, Liam Rossinier, Roberto Mancini. Before people say no to Roberto Mancini, he was close to going to Forest. Roberto Mancini, Gareth Southgate, Liam Rossinier. I'd have Mancini every day of the week. I personally believe we lose this game, Farke gets sacked. Because I think after this game, if we lose this game, it will be untenable. I wish I could say I'm confident. I just can't. I can't because I wish I could say it, but I can't. Do I see us winning? I think we could win, absolutely, because West Ham are dire. It's not because I think we're great, and I'm not. It's not that I have belief in Farke. I just think West Ham are dire. Listen, if you've watched this long, thank you very much. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to all my subscribers. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back on through the week. More than likely, something will happen. News will break. But after the game Friday, I will definitely be on after the game with my father. I'll upload a video. If enough people stop by, give me a comment or whatever, we'll see about getting a live done down the line. But right now, I think videos is the way to go. I'm getting more views with that. I don't trust the getting a good enough crew for a live sort of interaction. I don't know if it'll make for good. So I'm not up to Joe Wayman's standard yet, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching and peace out.